13 Assassins, 2010 Japanese film from director Takashi Miike, loosely based on real historical characters. 19th century Japan, an era of peace, is threatened by a cruel, evil nobleman who plays with the lives of others and is selfishly immature. A plot is hatched by the people close to the shogun. They hire a group of assassins to ambush the evil guy and kill him before he manages to reach Edo and officially become an advisor to the shogun. But the security forces around the villain know that the assassination plot is coming, and so the game begins of who will outwit who. Now, I really loved this film. Part of it is that it's a really well-made action movie. It's got clearly defined characters and stakes, great performances, fantastic villain that is really easy to hate, and the last hour is non-stop violent, bloody action that is sort of really well set up and done and choreographed, and the set that they've built for the village where the final showdown takes place is kind of impressive as well. And it reminded me of Seven Samurai, especially in the first half, the film itself, not just the last act, when they're gathering the team. Although admittedly this is a much dirtier version of Seven Samurai. The assassins here are not honorable men who fight to protect the weak. They are killers, and they know they're killers, and they're tasked with murder essentially. But the real reason I enjoyed this film so much is that at the heart of it, there is an incredibly well-written conflict between two opposing philosophies, personified, represented by the leader of the assassins, Shinzaemon, who is the main character of the film, and the leader of the security forces tasked with defending the bad guy, Hanbei. And the conflict comes from the fact that Hanbei is an honorable man. He is bound by the tenets of the samurai code. He follows his duty even if he recognizes that his lord is objectively evil, but still he has his orders. So he behaves honorably on an individual basis, on an individual level, but his good methods are employed in service of objective evil. Whereas Shinzaemon is the opposite. He abandons the code, he does not behave honorably, he does not fight honorably. He is willing to fight dirty and to sully his own honor and his own soul, because what he does leads to objective good. And that is such a fascinating conflict to have, to explore, with, which set of morals is better. Do morals even operate on these various levels, personal and objective? Should they operate on these separate levels at all? Or maybe there shouldn't be a distinction in the first place. I really loved the way these two clash together, especially as it's never actually spelled out right for the audience. It's all there in the dialogue and the story and the way these two characters interact with each other and talk to each other, but they don't address these things head on. So it feels kind of rewarding as an audience member to get this meaning behind the film. It feels like the movie does treat its viewers with respect and trust that they can put things together and figure things out by themselves. And again, this sort of central conflict between two men with opposing philosophies is something I greatly enjoy in stories, and it made me think of movies like Heat, The Departed, The Prestige to an extent, and even more mainstream. An example would be Captain America: Civil War. There is something compelling about being able to strip down all of the action and get to the heart of it, and be able to understand and relate to two completely opposing points of view, where each of them sort of has their own reasoning which you can relate to, and you can watch that and enjoy the tragic tale where the representatives of these two viewpoints are locked into them and fated to do battle as they cannot reconcile. 13 Assassins does that really well, and as I said earlier, aside from even that, it's also just an exciting action film on the surface level, so I really enjoyed it through and through. Great stuff.